From our birth, we learn many things. Many things. We learn language, we learn etiquette, we learn manner, we learn how to play, we learn how to talk with others, and we also learn to do things in our own way. This man is standing over there. He has kept his hand at the back of his side. He said that I expect you all to be independent and innovative. So every child becomes experienced with the things they see before them, and they also try to innovate something with the help of their knowledge. And how do they do so? How do a child innovate something, create something, and how do they understand a thing before them? Someone said that actually we do not wish to live with a family and learn to speak Serbo-Croatian language. Okay, so in many countries, the learner, second language learner, stays with the family. That means the target language is speaking family. Okay, and they learn the language. I am talking about both kinds of learning, any kinds of learning. That means a child form some knowledge of language and knowledge of other etiquette and manner. Piaget says that every child will have a form of understanding, and that with the help of this form of understanding, every child tries to construct their own knowledge. With the help of their parents, with the help of their surroundings, and with the help of the things they see before their eyes, they construct, they innovate, they discover new things. So the children, the way in which they construct new ideas, new knowledge, that idea is called constructivism. Constructivism, that very meaning is gotten by. So this constructivism is a process through which every child learns something and constructs something new. That idea is called constructivism. Piaget, a scholar, he said that every child construct their knowledge through the passage of ages. That means a child will be growing up, and that child will try to grab new things with the gradual process of their age. Other person, Vygotsky says, no. Actually, it is not the matter of our age. He said, actually, the parents play a vital role. The neighbors play a vital role for constructing the knowledge of a child. So, Vygotsky and Piaget both are saying in this portion that every child learns something, every child constructs new knowledge with the process. Piaget said it is the matter of our age. That means we learn gradually everything simultaneously. Vygotsky said no, actually The parents, neighbor, and especially the culture play a vital role in this of constructing the knowledge and experience. And that is the theory of constructivism. That means constructivism in second language acquisition is a process through which a child learns a language with their previous knowledge, and that knowledge is getting to the several stages. What are the stages? A school that has students pursue their own project with the teachers playing an advisory role. So, in a class, if a project is given to the students, then the student will try to construct their knowledge with the help of their previous knowledge. And the previous knowledge is called schema. Schema means before getting a new thing, we have to get a model. Okay? Model, that means a knowledge. So previous knowledge is called schema or schemas or schemata. That means the unit of understanding that can be hierarchically categorized as well as weight into the complex relationship with one another. So how does a child construct new thing? With the help of their schema, they learn things differently in their own way. Piaget said it is the matter of our age, and Vygotsky said it is the matter of society and culture. And Piaget's idea is called that Piaget's social theory of cognitive development. Our today's class will be, that is, the Piaget's theory of cognitive development. We know what is cognition. Cognition, that means the knowledge of understanding, how a child understands a thing. Okay. So this is about constructivism. And in constructivism, there are three types of constructivism, that is cognitive constructivism, social constructivism, and radical constructivism. Okay? So all this constructivism will run following some principles. What are the principles? Knowledge is constructed. People learn to learn as they learn. So they learn something and gradually they learn new things. That is the process. Learning is an active process. Learning is a social activity. Learning is contextual. Okay? And knowledge is personal. Knowledge is personal. And learning exists in the mind. And motivation is the key to learning. So, constructivism, that means we construct new knowledge. Every child construct new knowledge following the process. That is, it is normal, but society, culture, motivation play vital role to enhance our constructivism. And Piaget, this theory he identified as Piaget theory of cognitive development. Piaget focused on how humans make meaning to relation, to the interaction between their experience and their ideas. And the way the children learn new things and construct new things, that is the Piaget's theory of cognitive development. So how does it happen? This is a picture, isn't it? And on that is written, that is the disequilibrium. Disequilibrium. That means bharshamya. At the lower portion of the picture, we see there is a circle, red circle. There is a red circle over here. Here it is dog schema, cow schema. There is a little boy, okay, and there is a sign of what? This child has previous knowledge. That means this child has seen dog and cow earlier. Then the child goes before an elephant. Then the child will say, oh, what is this? Okay, because the elephant was not seen by the child earlier. So in this child schema, there is two knowledge, that is dog and cow. From that schema, the child will try to understand. It may be a dog or it may be a cow. Okay, so it and how this schema will work and how that this equilibrium will work. Child will try to assimilate first. Assimilate means make similarity. Will try to make similarity, and they will try to accommodate their previous knowledge. When the children will be successful in making the similarity between his previous knowledge and this knowledge, that is the knowledge of elephant, then that will make equilibrium. If the previous idea of the child, that means she should previous idea ki chilo? Cow. Cow is a four-footed animal and dog is a four-footed animal, and this elephant is also a four-footed animal but quite different. Okay, so after noticing this, the process of accommodation involves altering one existing axiomas. Okay, so previous axiomas was that সেই শিশুটা কি দেখেছিল এবং সেই নলেজ থেকে যখন সে অ্যাকোমোডেট করে যে এরকম একটা 4 ফুটের কিছু যখন অ্যাকোমোডেট করে তখন সে একটা নতুন এক্সিস্টিং এক্সিমা দ্বারা নতুন আইডিয়া as a result of new information and new experience he tried to accommodate their previous knowledge, and that is called adaptation, and the new schemas may be developed during this process. So after getting the experience of dog and cow, dog এবং কাউয়ের ছবি তার মাথায় আছে, সেটা নিয়ে তখন এই শিশুটি চিন্তা করার পরে সে একটা নতুন আইডিয়া গ্রো করে যে ইট ইজ অলসো আ 4-footed animal, and that 4-footed animal is little bit different from others. That means the cow, and so a new kind of schema develops by the child. So it can be happen through accommodation and through assimilation. If assimilation, that means look here, if the previous idea is quite similar to the new experience, then equilibrium will happen. And if the previous idea is quite dissimilar to the new experience, that will happening the disequilibrium. But through this process, the child will be learning new things. So what is the definition of disequilibrium? Contradiction and conflict to the pre-existing schema. That means pre-existing idea of the child was that he knew dog and cow. So when this new experience will contradict to the and conflict to the previous idea, then the new information will be there, and that would be calling disequilibrium. Okay. Implementation of assimilation and accommodation to create a cognitive balance between thinking and reality, this disequilibrium will occur. And when equilibrium will occur, we will try to maintain equilibrium. It gives us a sense of being able to cope with the world. With the previous idea, a child will try to grab the new things. And if it gets similarity between the previous idea and the new experience, that will create an equilibrium. But through this equilibrium and through this disequilibrium, what is the thing? That the children will construct new idea. All are the process of Piaget's theory of cognitive development. Piaget says that there are 4 stages of the child's cognitive development. First stage starts from birth and it goes up to age 2. These are the 4 stages. First stage you see, that is after the birth, and then the child is doing something. Then stage 2, that would be a different. Stage 3, that would be a different, and stage 4 like you. That means getting a book without the back, and the boy is going to, either he may be going to an office or he may be going to study for his higher education. So according to Piaget cognitive development, there are 4 stages of this development. The first stage is called sensorimotor stage. Sensorimotor stage. So sensorimotor stage starts from birth and it goes up to 2. In this stage, the child begins to interact with the environment. Environment, that means up to 2 years of age, child will be looking to the environment and they will try to grab the idea. Okay, what's this like that? Okay, just 1 word and 2 words. That is, if you put some colorful toys before the child, then the child will try to attract this and try to have a movement towards the colorful toys. The second stage is called preoperational stage, and that stage starts from 2 and goes up to 6 or 7 years of age. And this pre-operational stage, child begins to represent the world symbolically. Symbolically, that means at that time the children will be very much happy to start the idea of playing with the toys. Toys means, that means the children will be very much happy to play computer games, or they will be playing with the symbol, that means a teddy, okay, or a doll. What the doll will do? With the doll, the child will start talking. The child will be making friendship with the doll. And in many various ways, the child will try to make a communication with the toys. That means toys to them will be a symbol. And with that symbol, they will try to create their, suppose the child will start telling a story to the toys. Then it's a kind of communication. And that communication will be done symbolically. Okay. So in this pre-operational stage. So the third stage is concrete operational stage. The child learns roles such as conversation. Okay. Conversation. That means in this age 7 to 11 or 12, they will be there, they can communicate with someone else. Okay, that means at that time they can pick a phone and they can communicate with the person with that way. That means how they can converse. Actually, if anybody asks you, ask a child that what are you doing? What do you do tomorrow? What is your plan? Okay, so every question can be answered by this child who is 7 to 11 years, 12 years of age. But at 6 years of age, they can say that, yeah, what he can do or what she can do. Another thing will be there. That means if you ask a child aging 10 years, that what you are planning, then you say that tomorrow I will be going to school and there I have a teacher and I will be talking to my teacher. There is a competition. There is something. Okay. So if you ask any question to that child aging 7 to 12 years, they can answer it. That means they can make successful conversation. Even they can count reverse way. Reverse way, that means 10, 9, 6, 7, 6 and such way. But this pre-operational stage, the child will not be able to count in reverse way. Okay, they will be able to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in such a way. They can be able to count 10, 9, 8 in such a way. Okay, so that is pre-operational stage and that is concrete operational stage. And the last stage, that is 12 to adulthood. Adulthood, conservation, conversation. Conservation, that means the reverse. That is reverse way. That means 10 to 9 in such a way. I thought that it is conversation. The same thing will be that. Okay, so conservation, that means the reverse way. And the formal operational stage will be the stage. That means the picture suggests that the adolescent can transcend the concrete situation to think about the future. You may see that the two adult, actually after teenage, so it starts from 13 to adulthood. So what is the exact age of adulthood? Okay, before 20 or 22, after 20 like that, or 25, that would be the adulthood. So in this thing, they can make and they can imagine the future. They can make future plan and they can do every activities what is supposed to be done by an adult person, and that starts from 13. So the boys or girls of 13, they can do everything in this stage. Okay, so here we have said this. Okay, there are sensory motor stage, that is 0 to there are 6 sensory-motor stage. Yeah, simple reflexes, primary circular reaction, secondary circular reaction, coordination of reaction, tertiary circular reaction, and clearly symbolic thought. And the second one, pre-operational stage, and in this stage child begin to engage in symbolic play and learn to manipulate symbols. That means they, using the symbol, they can do different things. And the characteristics of a sensory-motor stage, that means the main characteristics of pre-operational stage is the concept of egocentrism. Egocentrism means atto-kendric. What does it mean? It means that what the child will understand, the child will not go away with that stage. And in this stage, what they will do, that is, suppose an adult breaks a toys of the child. Okay, the child will not think that actually the adult didn't have the intention to break the toys. The child will always think that yes, intentionally that adult. So what the child will understand in his or her own way, he or she will try to stage on that stage. That is called egocentrism. And centration as well. Conversion, that means that is conservation, that is count in reverse way, and the symbolic representation. So children in this age use symbol to represent this world, and they are limited to experience from their point of view. Okay? So this is about centration. A child will become completely fixed on one point, just like egocentrism, one point, and not allowing them to see the wider perspectives, focusing only on the height of the container rather than both the height and width when determining what has the biggest volume. Okay, so if we put 1 liter water in 2 containers, one will be a jug and one will be a tray. Okay, so they will also count the height, and if it is asked that which container contains much water, they will be saying that the jug, because the jug height is bigger than the tray or the plate. Okay, so that will be doing in this stage. Okay. And conservation, a child development is a local thinking ability first studied by Swiss psychologist Jean Piaget. And in short, being able to converse meaning, knowing that the quantity doesn't change if it has been altered. By being stretches, cut, elongated, and spread out, and sharp, and powered, etc. And cannot count the reversely. Okay, that is 5, 4, 3. Okay, cannot count the. So they will be understanding the height, and measuring the height. They will take a decision that which container contains much water, and they can also can't do conservation. That is, they can't count reverse. And also they can also determine the stages position. Okay, so if a room is long enough, they will say that this is the big room. But if it is in the circle or the square shaped room, they can say that yes, actually they can determine such kind of abilities in this stage. And symbolic representation, the process of mental representation object and experience through the use of symbol. And the concrete operational stage. This period spends the time of middle childhood, and it begins around 7 to and continues until approximately age 11. And this is characteristics by the development of logical thought. That means 7 to 11. And nature enough to use the logical thought or operation, but can only apply logic to physical object. Okay, so children gain abilities to conservation, number, area, volume, and orientation. In this stage, what the pre-operational stage, what the child will not be able to do in this concrete operational stage or concrete operational stage, they can do so. So if you put the same kind of water in different shape of container, they can understand that actually he has seen that yes, I have taken 1 liter water and I have put it in a jug. I have taken 1 liter water and I have put it in a container bowl. Okay, and they will say all are same, because they can understand both volume, that means width, height, everything. And that is the formal operational stage. At this point in development, thinking becomes much more sophisticated and advanced. Okay, so they can do all kinds of sophisticated and advanced action in this age. And that is the idea of Piaget's theory of cognitive. This is on 7th stage. So, what is the strength of Piaget's theory? The theory brings a new and fresh perspective to the development psychology. So, before that, someone or some critics said in different way, but Piaget, after getting that idea that it is the development through the ages. That means he didn't mention the other thing responsible for the development, and it is a fresh looking towards the development of a child's psychology, and for this reason it is a good one and the new one. The theory has brought a change in the way people view a child's world. Okay, so if everything is done through the gradual process, then we should wait for the child, and the child will gradually learn everything. Okay. And Piaget theory has encouraged more research in cognitive development, but there are some weaknesses as well. The theory faces some issues when it comes to formal operation. Many research studies dispute the theory, stating that not only children develop from one stage to another. Fresh new researchers state that development takes place in a continuous process, not in stages. Okay, so how Piaget make a difference between the sensory motor stage and the pre-operational stage? Why the sensory motor stage will not proceed up to 3 years of age? Okay, and why not the confidence stage will start from 14? Okay, so these are the lab. That means if any child develops everything through the stages, and how and which way the 4 stages are divided by the year. Why the first stage is not up to 2 years? Why the second stage is not up to 9 years? There is no complete answer of this research question. But the thing is that it gives a new outlook to the researcher, especially who will be researching the psychology of a child. That is the strength of this theory. Okay, so this is about Piaget's theory of development. And Piaget, who is he? Piaget is was born in Switzerland in the late 1800 years, and was a precocious student, publishing his first scientific paper when he was just 11 years old. His early exposure to the intellectual development of children came when he worked as an assistant to Alfred Binet and Theodore Simon as they worked to standardize their famous IQ test. So this Swiss psychologist developed that theory. Okay. We started our lecture with another component. His name is Vygotsky. Vygotsky. Piaget said that through the ages, he has divided the ages in several stages and said that we will be, that means we construct new knowledge and new idea with the ages. But Vygotsky, he said that what is the importance of the parents then? What is the importance of the society then? Okay, so Vygotsky, another influential figure in the field of child development, Vygotsky acknowledged the roles that curiosity and active involvement play in learning, but placed greater emphasis on society and culture. Okay, so everything will be done through the ages. If it is so that I will not get my child admitted to school, I will not get my child every social gathering and occasion. Okay, every time the child will be requiring asking the date of their birth. Why? Because they are waiting, and they are waiting to celebrate something. And whenever, every day of a child will form their behavior, whether they will be confident or less and confident, that will be grounded on these social perspectives. If a child is exposed to society, what happens to us as a day? In a nuclear family, one child or two children. In case of one child, they don't have their social interaction. What they will do every time they play with their smartphone, and for this reason they became less confident, and many of them will be feed by their parents up to 12 years, 13 years. Many of you still, is it? Okay, so Vygotsky said that yes, for the growing and the construction of a child's psychology, apart from the age, two other things are important. What are the two other things? That is society and culture. Okay, so these are the difference between Vygotsky and Piaget. Based on the observation, he concluded that children were not less intelligent than adults. They simply think differently. Albert Einstein called Piaget's discovery so simple, only a genius could have thought it. So, getting Piaget's idea of cognitive development, Albert Einstein commented that yes, that is a different look towards the child development, but different from Vygotsky's theory of social criticism or social criticism. That will be described in details in the next class. So we will we have started in such a way that every child construct new knowledge with the help of their previous knowledge. The previous knowledge is called schema. With the help of their schema, they try to assimilate the new things. When the assimilation happen and when the accommodation happen, then the new thing will be calling equilibrium. That means the learning will be good. And when there is a dissimilarity between the schema, previous schema, and the other, okay, then that disequilibrium will happen. However, Piaget has divided child development through the ages, and he has called the 4 stages are responsible for the children development. That are the sensory motor stage, preoperational stage, formal operational stage. However, that theory is challenged by Vygotsky. Vygotsky said, yes, I admit that age is responsible for developing or constructing new idea, but apart from the age, some other factors are responsible for the child development. What are the factors? Society and also cultures. That is for Vygotsky's Piaget's theory of social development, cognitive development.